Michael Hanlon is the Director of Research and Foreign Policy at the Brookings Institute and joins us now. How many times can Iran ignore the United States, hurt American troops, attack our allies before there has to be a meaningful response, not from the Israelis, but from the United States?
Well, it's an excellent question. I think Iran has figured out that the kind of back and forth it tends to engage in, it can control. And as you imply with your question, the United States will do something specific by way of retaliation, but nothing that hurts Iran too much, partly because we don't want to go to the next level ourselves. The question is, does the pride of the various parties involved here now require them to do something that, in a sense, their realpolitik calculus tells them they should not do? So if Hezbollah, and Iran via Hezbollah hits 20 Israeli targets and, heaven forbid, kills 3 people, that's sort of a way for Iran to do something but show some degree of restraint. But if Iran does what they did in April, and some of those 300-plus weapons get through, then Iran is requiring Israel and maybe even the United States to take another step forward and escalate ourselves. The United States.
You make a great point, right? Which is there's a calculus on both sides. And when you look at that picture of Kamala Harris and President Biden together in the Situation Room, Iran knows that America does not want, or I should say, the Biden administration does not want any escalation because they know what it means politically. They want a ceasefire in Gaza. That's, they think, their only hope politically moving forward. Given that Iran knows that, Israel knows that, Israel feels that it's isolated and therefore has to be more aggressive. At what point does the United States almost become, I don't want to say irrelevant, but appearing to be leading from behind, impotent? What's the right word?
Well, leading from behind is not a bad phrase. And, in a sense, you could say that's what presidents have been doing in the United States for 30 plus years, because there's really no American who's gone out of his way as president to try to have this fight with Iran. Take, for example, George W. Bush. He had his doctrine of preemption, but at a time the United States essentially controlled Iraq, he prevented Israel from attacking Iranian nuclear facilities. And he said, no, I still think diplomacy is a better option. I don't want an escalating Middle East conflict. So you're right to ask the question, but the interesting thing is that it's actually been American presidents of both parties who for a long time have not seen any particular reason to want to get into this kind of a war. But at some point, you get pushed to the, to the threshold where you can't just do the same thing. And that's what everybody's nervous about. So you're right to raise the question. At some point, it's going to feel like we're not doing enough. And you're right, election year dynamics complicate it and exacerbate it. But all these dynamics would be there anyway, whether it's Biden, Obama, Trump, Bush, or anybody else in the White House so far.
All good points. Michael, thank you very much. Now we wait to see what the Iranian calculus is. It's good to see you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.